Have you ever stopped to think about the difference between building one perfect, incredible thing versus building an entire sprawling, chaotic city? One is a monument, right? A single, focused vision. The other is a metropolis, a living, breathing thing. Today, we're going to dig into that exact contrast. So let's jump right in with a pretty amazing case study, the Swaminarayan Akshardham Temple in New Delhi. It's just a mind-blowing feat of engineering and art, and you know what? It tells us a whole lot about the city that it calls home. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the monument itself. And this isn't just any old building. We're talking about a modern wonder built using ancient, time-tested techniques. It's located right there on the banks of the sacred Yamuna River. Akshardham really stands as this powerful testament to India's incredible traditions in art and architecture. It's just a breathtaking sight, and it's designed to make you feel a real sense of pride in Indian culture. But it's the sheer scale of it that's just astounding. The main temple is built from 300,000 intricately carved stones. And get this, they're all assembled and interlocked without any structural steel. It's like a giant three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle. Now, think about how ambitious this project was. The experts, they looked at the plans and they said, okay, this will take 40, maybe 50 years to build. But in the end, it was completely finished in just 5 years. I mean, what a phenomenal achievement. It just blew all those expectations out of the water. And the philosophy behind the whole thing was permanence. By not using steel or other materials that can corrode, the entire structure was designed to stand for thousands of years, just like the ancient wonders of the world. It was literally built for eternity. But a monument, it isn't just stone and design. It's about the people, the hands that actually build it. And this is where the story gets even more interesting. So the project hit a major roadblock almost right away. To get this thing done in 5 years, they calculated they'd need 7,000 skilled stone artisans. But when they searched the entire country, they could only find about 1,000. At that rate, construction would have taken 35 years. So what did they do? Did they give up? Nope. Instead of just waiting around, they decided to create their own workforce. They found every single available artisan they could, and then they launched this massive effort to train thousands of new ones. In the process, they didn't just build a temple, they actually revived a dying art form. And the impact this had on the lives of these workers, it was profound. As regular laborers, they were earning maybe 1,200 to 1,500 rupees a month, but as skilled artisans on this project, they earned nearly 7 times that amount. That is absolutely life-changing. And that economic data, it's captured so powerfully in the words of people like Shri Munalal Pandit, a supervisor on the project, who just said, simply, "He has changed my life." So this project, it was as much about transforming human lives as it was about carving stone. Okay, so we've seen this incredible success story, right? A perfect little microcosm. Now let's zoom out. Let's look at the macrocosm, the city itself, and see how that picture changes. This is really the central question, isn't it? A single, clear vision, a common purpose, and some really innovative problem-solving built to wonder in record time. So why does it seem like those same principles completely fail when we try to apply them to the city as a whole? Well, to answer that, we have to look at how the city of Delhi was planned in the first place. We have to look at the blueprint that has shaped it for decades. Delhi's history actually shows a really deliberate shift. The pre-British city of Shahjahanabad had a much more equal mix of different economic groups living and working together. But after 1857, the British came in and introduced segregation. And that whole idea of separation was basically cemented into policy in 1957 with the first master plan. So what even is a master plan? Well, you can think of it like a top-down rulebook for the city, created by a central authority. It uses something called land use zoning to decide what gets built where, so separating industrial areas from commercial areas from where people live. But as you can probably imagine, this approach has some major flaws. Critics say it's all about regulation, not about helping things grow. It cuts regular residents completely out of the planning process. It forces people to live miles and miles away from where they work. And maybe most importantly, it's based on this aspirational image of what a clean city should look like, which often totally ignores the needs of the working population. And this brings us to the real human cost of a blueprint like this. I mean, what's the lived reality for the people on the ground? Well, one of the most visible and heartbreaking symptoms is homelessness. According to ActionAid, India is home to 78 million homeless people. That's just a staggering number, and it reflects a deep, systemic failure in urban policy. And it's so important to understand who these individuals are. The vast majority are not beggars. They are the city's essential workforce. We're talking casual laborers, rickshaw pullers, the very same construction workers who build the city, but are then excluded from its aspirational image.
Yeah, and this exclusion is often enforced through the legal system. The city's elite can use the courts to push out so-called polluting industries, which, of course, also pushes out all the workers who depend on them for their livelihood. And it's all done in the name of creating a cleaner, more orderly city that reflects their aspirations.
Which brings us right back to our core challenge. The temple was built with a clear, common purpose. But how on earth can a metropolis, with its millions of different people, competing interests, and deep inequalities, how can it ever find that same sense of unity? You know, maybe the answer lies in this really powerful insight from Humayun Kabir. He argued that great architecture depends on a social feeling, a deep communal sense. It kind of suggests that to build a great city, not just a great monument, the entire society has to be guided by that exact same sense of common purpose, working together for a future that has room for everyone.
Enjoyed this video? Please like, share it with a friend, and press the bell icon to never miss an update.